Good, how about you?
Good. My name's Deja. What's your name?
I'm Grady. Nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you. Sorry.
Nice to meet you. My name's Jason.
Jason? I'm Deja.
Give each other a little sniff.
Sorry. Are those your real eyes?
They are.
Wow. Sorry.
You're not acting like an adult right now. You're not acting like an adult right now. Adults don't do this. You're not acting like an adult.
Get out of the house now. Okay? You are an adult now. Get out of my house.
You're not acting like an adult. You are 40 or 50 years old, and I am 19 years old, and you are acting.
Yo, she took her gum out her mouth and threw it at her daughter. You gotta think about the level of anger. But of course, I raised you to be a decent, upstanding woman of society, and instead, you're putting your sphincter out online. You are disgracing me and the generations of family that came before you.
Shame.
This is about the second time I've seen this clip, and I always wondered, like, is she incredibly tall and the mother's incredibly short, or she is like standing on top of like a banister or some shit?
Acting like a kid. You don't throw stuff at your kid like that.
Okay? Today, move all your stuff out.
Get out!
Okay? Or I will move it for you. Okay?
If the OnlyFans was popping, she should have no problem with getting out because she should be able to afford somewhere else. Are you telling me, ma'am, that you're putting your insides online and you're not making a lot of money doing it? Sounds like that's a waste.
You want a feminine man? You want a dude that's gonna wear heels on Saturdays?
You don't have to be feminine.
No, I'm asking you. Do you want a guy that wears heels on Saturdays?
You don't have to be feminine.
Answer the question. Do you want a man that wears heels on Saturdays?
No, you're not answering mine.
Whose podcast are you on?
Emotional, damn it!
All right. So, do you want a man that wears heels on Saturdays? Okay, so why would a man want a woman that acts like a dude?
Don't date any men, and you will have no problems, and you will be happier person.
Jesus Christ.
Would it be okay for her to have guy friends if you're in a relationship?
Yeah, that's okay. As long as I'm introduced to these guys and I know the boundaries they're set, I'm okay with that.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
It's not a problem.
What if it was a guy you knew she had a past with?
I think we would have to cut that short. It's just out of respect, you know what I'm saying? What we're trying to do with our relationship. You know, anything that you had emotionally tied to somebody, I think we have to let that go. Because, you know, feelings can occur at any time.
Honestly,
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
some people break up and they have good breakups. Some people break up and they have bad breakups. It all depends on how you break up. So, I'm saying if you have a good bond with that person.
What?
And if you've known that dude probably since the 7th grade, of course it's going to cause some tension between him because he don't understand the bond. But if he trusts you, then it shouldn't be a problem.
Get that French toast out of here.
How long have you had a crush on this person?
Sometime, maybe like a year.
Known each other for about 3 weeks. We met in college. She dated one of my best friends for like a year and a half.
This says for me to tell you that I have a crush on you. Fair enough. I'm getting the temperature of the room.
Okay. I do really like you, and I can see this going places if we want to be more than friends. And so,
Cool.
Cool. Thank you.
My nigga.
I do have a crush on you, but I feel like I have feelings for you. I've been attracted to you since I think before you met Adam. But
Before?
yeah, like you were on my periphery. I was interested in you.
I was dating your
And then
high
you started
school friend.
and then you started dating somebody that I went to middle and high school with. And I was like,
Beta!
well, I can't do or say anything about this.
Huh.
Are these feelings mutual? Why or why not?
You're not.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
No, I get it.
Stop it. Get some help.
Why is it when a woman doesn't have a man, she often has to take on a masculine role, but when a man doesn't have a woman, he doesn't necessarily have to take on a feminine role?
Ooh. That's too good a question for me to answer personally.
That prove that masculinity is more essential for survival than femininity.
Ooh, fuck. I had never thought about that, so it's alright.
And if that's true, why is masculinity seen as toxic?
masculinity is vital for society to continue existing.
Getting a feminist to admit that masculinity is necessary within our society is like getting Lizzo to admit that ice cream doesn't taste good. This was a gold medal performance right here, but my bro, it's complicated. Bravo, my G.
I had a man who I thought was the one because he would write me little love letters in the morning before work. Right. He would do all the sweet stuff. But he was too much of a simp. Where he's like, I would get scared of you. When you get mad, like, I'm not gonna front, I don't really like your attitude. And I'm like, yo, I'm not putting you down like a fucking piece of shit. Like, I'm mad. So I'm like, yo, I talk like this. And I'm from Brooklyn, so I'm a little mad, you know? And he's like, nah, whoa, I don't like.
You just gotta think about the mindset of a woman like this. You have a man that on one side of the coin treats you like gold, but on the other side of the coin, you just don't understand why he doesn't want to deal with your bad behavior, your fake masculinity, your nasty attitude. You are simply crazy. You are simply absurd. Now, gentlemen, understand this. Every dude on this planet should have a healthy amount of check within his masculinity toolkit. But you have to understand the difference of a healthy amount of check for a female's nature versus these fake masculinity vagabonds that have no idea of the actual repercussions of their fake masculinity behavior. They're not exposed to violence. They don't know the repercussions of violence. They don't know how to fight. All they know how to fight with is with their violent, nasty serpent tongues. Women like this you leave alone. I say you don't even give them the eggplant because you want them nowhere near the vicinity of you. Chicks like this are not even for the streets. They're for the nothingness. Don't keep these low-level, abyss-level thinkers anywhere near your sphere. So in reality, it is an absolute blessing that she identified that he is too much of a simp for her, because at the utmost least you have saved your time and energy, and at the utmost you have saved your life.
Watch what happened in the 60s and 70s. Women were essentially saying, we can do what you can do, but they can't, okay? I know you don't want to hear this. Nobody wants to hear this. This is not politically correct. It's true. Men and women, they are two different energies, two different powers. So it's no different than water saying, I can be fire. This is not personal. This is not sexism. This is the fact that we are dealing with two different beings. And until we recognize in society that we are two different beings, we're never going to be able to set up a society that's actually beneficial for both. So to the degree that we as women are demanding that we are seen as the same as men, we're going to get ourselves in trouble here. When I think about, feminine empowerment, it's about being brave enough to assert our difference. It's about not being threatened by the opposite sex as well. There's a huge component in there. Wanting men to be men and wanting to be empowered as women, it's the same thing.
Would you be okay with your long-term monogamous partner going to a nightclub, bar, or party type environment where throughout the course of the night he's going to get approached, flirted with, and sexually pursued by numerous attractive women, some of which are more attractive than you and could potentially be a better partner than you, and these women are buying him drinks, getting him drunk, and enthusiastically want to sleep with him that night and steal him away from you? You're going to tell me you'd be okay with that?
No, not with that. Definitely.
Gotcha, bitch. So we know that female hyper users of Instagram, they're sadistic, Machiavellian, psychopathic, and narcissistic, and they optimize for short-term mating strategies. So they're promiscuous, and that's a marker for antisocial behavior.
Would you call that toxic femininity? Is there such a thing as toxic femininity?
Absolutely. We know what toxic femininity is. It's the female version of antisocial behavior is reputation savaging, gossip, innuendo, backbiting. Females can be very good at that. Now, men can do that too, and they do, especially on social media. But it's definitely the case that social media enables female antisocial type behavior.
So if I'm in the club and I see someone I like, I'll just look over, give them the 2-second look.
So she's dull. Fooling asleep.
I've actually never told anyone this. I almost went to jail shooting a bro. I was shooting a bro scene, and the script was like, okay, basically you're going to stand on the side of the road, butt naked, holding a sign that says fuck food, need. The director where he chose for me to stand, it was right across of a yoga studio. I guess they called the cops, and out of nowhere, 5 cop cars come. Literally being from Miami saved me.
She belongs to the streets.
How would anybody want to deal with you? How about that?
Let's see. I'm intelligent. I'm motivated. I have my own business. I maintain my own lifestyle. I'm not understanding the full scope of your question.
Well, see, that's the problem now, ain't it? You just described yourself as a man. See, you got to understand what the men want. Nothing you said in there was anywhere close to being feminine, beautiful, inspirational, caring, loving. The way you're talking almost sounds like a dude.
Would you agree that sex is something that's shared between two people?
Yes. Yes.
Why do men have to pay a higher price in order to have access to a shared activity?
Because we got to take the time to get ready, and we got to know our value on that.
What do you mean? Because there's also women that have to pay a lot more money on lots of things in gender.
Well, I'm saying, like, typically it's expected, like, guys have to kind of, like, approach women, pay for dates. They have to, like, you know, just kind of, like, court women and treat them and buy them dinner.
Because originally, in olden times, they owned us.
And we want to be taken care of, so you kind of just have to get with it or get lost.
Okay, so wouldn't that mean that women basically dictate the rules?
I think that women do dictate the rules at the bottom line of it all, because at the end of the day, every man, for the most part, is going to want that release. So
I stopped OnlyFans for quite a few reasons. One of my biggest reasons was because I did want to protect myself from my employer. I am a corporate chick by day, and I will always want to keep a 9-to-5 job, no matter how much I end up making from online revenue. I remember seeing the people subscribe to me. A couple of them were my former coworkers. One of them being someone I know wasn't on social media at all. So how he found out my OnlyFans is completely surprising to me. The word will always end up being passed around to anyone and everyone, and I did not want any of that being leaked into my workplace. It is what it is, you know, it's just the nature of the beast when you're online. I actually dreaded just about every time I opened up my OnlyFans. I just would see all these messages like, are you DTF, sending like pics. Naturally, I see messages like this from men on Instagram and just other places, and I've never been the type to entertain it. And so the thing is with OnlyFans is that you kind of have to entertain it because they're paying.
Being surprised that you're receiving eggplant pics is like being surprised that you have to close your eyes to go to sleep. I'm starting to think that these chicks are just acting dumb on purpose.
Stop it. Get some help.
Guys, listen to me. If your public image is on the internet, whether you consider yourself a private person or a public figure, what you do on the internet is ripe for game at these corporate establishments. I had to deal with it too when I was back in corporate America. I had women haters contacting the HR department saying that I was saying things that I actually never said. But HR actually investigated it and told me that I was good. Now, if I had an OnlyFans and they can see my eggplant meat up on the internet, it would have been a much different conversation.
You don't wanna see me get vexed. Bars on your phone, tell a man you can't jack. The big guy, the ones who can't stretch. Breaking the neck when we in the car next. You don't wanna see me get vexed. Bars on your phone, tell a man you can't jack. The big guy, the ones who can't stretch. Breaking the neck when we in the car next. That bar, need a fibrillation ASAP. Get boxed with a straight guy. I'm reminded of mind state they lack.